Hey there, Sam Visnick here, Release Muscle Therapy, and in today's video we're going to be reviewing a new product, which is a new type of shoe from a company called Sapogi that works with individuals who are dealing with heel pain and or plantar fasciitis, so stay tuned. All right, welcome back, and again in today's video we're going to be looking at a new type of shoe that was specifically designed for individuals with heel pain and plantar fasciitis from a company called Sapogi. And I had the opportunity to check these out, and I want to walk you through some of the features of this. So first and foremost, it's challenging to find something that works really well for everybody, especially when you're dealing with something like plantar fasciitis. There are cases that are very simple, minor irritation, and then there's some advanced, seriously painful conditions with plantar fasciitis. So first and foremost, before I review this, I want to say there is no one-size-fits-all, pun intended, because we're talking about shoe. That will work for every single person. So that is the unfortunate thing. But there are some features out of this that I want you to pay attention to that I think are beneficial, and it has a cool concept here overall. So first and foremost, one of the things that's most common with plantar fasciitis is using some kind of an insert or orthotics and so forth. They can be helpful. They don't tend to last over the long run, and that is because there is a progression to the way that the work needs to be done. So this company in particular has an interesting way of addressing this type of issue. So first and foremost, the shoe, as you could tell, is fairly stylish. The challenge is with shoe wear, a lot of shoes that people prefer to wear when they're dealing with plantar fasciitis aren't exactly the most fashionable. A lot of individuals will prefer to wear Birkenstocks, for example, but those aren't exactly work-friendly. Another shoe that's very popular for individuals is the Hoka shoes, and those are more athletic type wear. These are going to be more casual wear. There's a couple of features to it. So first and foremost, they come in a couple of different colors. I think they come in I would call it a light brown color. There's a black, solid black, and a white. Now, again, it looks very casual. Okay, it's a good looking shoe, good quality. The next feature out of it is the toe. Okay, so the toe you can see is not smashed in there, not heavily rounded. The box here is a little bit wider on the toe area, so it's going to be more comfortable. Now, the other feature out of this that I want to talk about right away is the rigidity of the shoe. So a lot of times in therapeutic programs, the outcome right off of the bat is to try to increase the flexibility of the plantar fascia, to increase the range of motion in the big toe, and so forth. And those are definitely worthy therapeutic outcomes. The challenge is sometimes early on in the therapeutic process that it can be very painful, and it might be too early to introduce those concepts in all-day type of footwear. So an individual is dealing with plantar fasciitis, for example, one of the things that might flare them up immensely is to wear shoes that are basically like free wear, like these minimal type of shoes, which allow ultimate flexibility. Because every time you step and you roll through and that pulling occurs on the plantar fascia attachment, it's going to irritate it. So the strategy early on, oftentimes for relief, especially in footwear, they're going to wear at work all day or something like that, is to reduce the mobility of the foot. So one of the strategies that I would use oftentimes with people is to do plantar fasciitis taping. There's another video on this on my website, on my YouTube channel, I should say, to check that out. But reducing the amount of movement and increasing the arch support oftentimes gives great relief. And that allows for the individual to be able to work all day long and then reduce the inflammation and then do the appropriate amount of exercises sporadically throughout the day and gradually build it up. So stage one might be reducing mobility. And this shoe is very rigid, and that is their idea right off the bat, is making a very, very rigid shoe. And that way we can take the stress off of the plantar fascia. All right, so the next thing we'll do is take a look at the inside. So I'm going to pull this out here, and we have an arch that's in there, an insert. And right off the bat, I could say that it has a pretty strong amount of arch support. It's pretty firm. It's not too mushy, so it is definitely going to lift up that arch. For some individuals, right away, it might be a little bit intense. So they'll have to work into it and through some soreness. This is oftentimes the case when you try to use a very strong arch support because it presses into the tissues that are sensitive. So that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it might be something that an individual needs to work into. But it does come with that insole. So that is included in there. The heel is being hugged a good amount with this arch support and the backside, so it has a good amount of support in there. Now, the next cool thing out of this, remember how we talked about that the shoe was quite rigid? That can be adapted. Once you're ready to increase the amount of movement in the foot past that kind of initial inflammatory phase, the shoe, as you can see on the bottom here, has kind of a depth to it, this piece inside. And that piece actually can be broken to increase the flexibility of the shoe. And the way that they suggest that is to put the shoe kind of basically over the edge of a table and then break it. And then once it breaks, the bottom will be flexible. So it's a nice little interesting concept, is to start wearing the shoe with rigid, and then either if that's too much and you need more movement, you can go ahead and break that right away, or you can work right into it. So it allows both functions of that rigid aspect of the foot, of the shoe and the support, and the flexible nature of it. So there you go. I mean, those are the key components out of this, is the wide component here in the front, plenty of room for the forefoot, not smashing the toes in there, the ability to break that arch between hard and flexible, and of course having that insole in there as well with that nice casual shoe design. So I'm definitely going to be testing this a lot more in practice. And again, the challenge is figuring out the right person in the right circumstances in which this shoe is most comfortable. But right now, I'm looking very optimistic on the use of this. I've had some good feedback so far. Reviews on the website are really, really good. So I'd urge you to check those out. And of course, I'll leave a link below for you to click on to get access to this shoe. Give it a shot. And of course, based upon your feedback, come back to this video, go to the comments below, tell us what you think. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel for additional reviews on these types of great products, and I'll see you on the next video.